Well, I did something I normally don't do last night and drove in the dark and pulled into a camp after dark. Typically just don't do that often. Let's see where we ended up. Sun is coming up just about 6:30 a.m. Pretty spot here. I am near Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Sun is just coming up over the horizon. And it's been warm in these parts. Had some days up over 100 degrees, but today is supposed to be a little cooler. I'm going to try to get down to the lake and do some swimming before I move on from here. That was my intention. I just really wanted to swim in the lake. So I'm going to get myself together here. I'm a little groggy. Did not sleep that well last night. I'll get up and get this day started. That was an absolute treat going for a swim. Well, after a little running around in town, we are moving on from Lake Havasu City. Able to stop and go for a swim there. That felt amazing. Bring you guys along as usual. Away we go. We are close to the California state line here in Parker, Arizona. Looks like gas is creeping up, $4.79 here. I just filled up for $4.49. I had to pay cash to get that price. And I actually am going to be crossing over into California for a little bit. Explain more about that. I know with the rising gas prices, it's the last place I should be going, but keeping driving to a minimum while I'm there. We'll be crossing over the Colorado River here, which is the Arizona-California state line. All this stuff blowing in the wind. Get your guns and ammo before you leave Arizona. There it is, the Colorado River. Goodbye, Arizona. Hello, California. Get the welcome to California. We'll have to count how many fill-ups I have to do here while I'm in California. Van's going to be parked most of the time. Once I get to my destination. It's just as windy on this side of the river. Hey, how's it going, man?
It's just an agricultural inspection.
Yep.
Any plants or produce to declare?
No, I don't.
Cool, dude. The slip right here just shows you got inspected.
Awesome, it's
Has
official.
some, information about the station on the back of that.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, man. Have a good one. You too. The friendliest guy I think I've ever encountered at one of those stations. Look at gas here, $6.79. Holy mackerels. I'm probably gonna have to fill up once. So hopefully I don't have to pay that kind of price. Gosh, it was just $4.69 on the other side of the state line. We stopped and checked out some little cargo trailers. This guy's got these little 4x6 V-nose trailers. It's about 7 feet from the tip of the V-nose to the back of it, about 4 feet high inside. It's a nice little trailer. It's about as small as I could possibly go and still fit the motorcycle inside. So we test fitted in there and it fits just perfect. It looks like about the perfect size trailer. I really like to keep it as small as possible. So I'm going to have to do some thinking about it, look at some other options in the area, and see what I end up doing. Okay, I stopped and saw some family for a little bit, dropped off the motorcycle, and we're going to head down to the coast for a little bit, spend the day and night, and fill you guys in on my immediate plans here. Things are a little complicated, but seem to be working out. Got a beautiful day here in San Diego, heading down Interstate 8, heading west. It's about midday, so traffic is flowing smooth. Check in when we get close to the coast. Well, here we are. We made it down to Mission Bay Park here in San Diego. It's a beautiful day. Nice and cool and breezy. This is one of the few spots, actually one of probably the only spots in San Diego where you can actually bring your vehicle on the sand. Of course, we're not at the ocean shore. This is just a bay here. We may try to get over to the ocean front, but gosh, it's usually so crowded and parking is so difficult. It's just so much more mellow here. I've always preferred the bay over the beaches. It's just as pretty and a lot more peaceful here. Oh, it's good to be back. This is kind of a trip. When I was back in San Diego for the holidays, I didn't make it down here to the coast. I was spending most of my time with family. So it's quite nostalgic for me. This is where it all started. I mean, this is not only my hometown, but this is where I got my start living in a van. I was city dwelling for my first year and 9 months. I moved into my old Dodge van in January of 2014. And I had a year prior my own landscaping business that I owned and operated, and folded that business. I took a part-time job at In-N-Out Burger as a janitor, basically scrubbing floors and cleaning deep fryers from 4 a.m. to about 11 a.m. And then I'd get off of work and drive down here and spend my afternoons and evenings. Well, it was a time in my life where I just needed to spend a lot of free time thinking about what I really wanted in life. And this was a great place to do that. I wasn't overwhelmed with the responsibility of owning and operating my own business. So it was nice to, for once, be an employee again. And yeah, I'd pretty much work mornings and then come down here, hang out. And when the evening approached, most of these parking lots down here have a 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. no parking to keep people from overnighting. So I would just drive inland a couple miles into the industrial areas, find a quiet place to park on the side of the street and sleep. And I'd get up in the morning and do my early morning job. I had a gym membership. I'd go to the gym after work and shower up and come back down here and just kind of repeat. It was a great time in my life to really just think about, again, what I really wanted out of life.
And after about a year and a half of that, the city dwelling was starting to wear on me, having to constantly move around and find a safe place to park at night. So I started researching the seasonal job stuff, looked into the sugar beet harvest in North Dakota and the Amazon camper force. So I applied for both of those jobs and sure enough got hired. So it was time for me to make a big decision and attempt to leave my hometown for the first time. I was documenting all that on YouTube, so there's our videos of that back in the day. And it was a big jump for me, a big leap. I had, of course, the support of my friends and family, which was very helpful. And I took off in September of 2015 and had a couple weeks to get up into North Dakota for the sugar beet harvest. I did that job. And then between that and when I had to be in Kentucky for the Amazon job, I had a few weeks. So I was able to enjoy traveling for the first time and camping in a bunch of different places. It was really, really special time. It was just so fresh and so new. And really the seasonal job thing really, it just turned me on to a whole new way of living. I was able to make enough money just working those 2 jobs to get by for the next year, as long as I took a couple more short-term seasonal jobs. And I've kind of been working that ever since. It's now 2022. I can't believe I've been living in a van since January of 2014. It's been a long, crazy trip. A lot of you guys have been along for the ride the whole time. So just grateful to have you guys' support and be a part of all this. And again, it is quite nostalgic to be down here. I spent a lot of time parked right here. I'd park over across the bay in this little lot. And it's funny coming down here now, you see so many more vans and buses and RVs than back in those days. So the van thing has definitely blown up since then. And yeah, life has been good. You know, I had been taking some other seasonal jobs. I worked in Iowa at Adventureland Amusement Park. That was a trip. And then got turned on to the Alaska thing. I've been doing that for, geez, this will be my 4th year. I'm gearing up to go do that again. So I've got about a few more days. I'm going to be flying out to Alaska for 2 months to make some money. And that's just a good gig. I live on a boat for a couple months. The airfare is paid for. All the food is paid for. So it's just a good way to make money and not spend any money. So I'm excited to be going back to that, make some cash. And I'm just going to kind of hang out today. Enjoy this beautiful day, the nice cool breeze. Probably get some food rustled up here soon. It's hard to believe, just a few days ago I was out in the middle of the hot desert, off-roading on my motorcycle. Now here we are right at the beach. I might even go for a swim. So we have moved to the other side of the bay here to catch sunset, but it got cloudy, so no sunset. It's a little more populated over on this side of the bay here. Quite a few more people. I've got my grill out here, getting some charcoal going. I'm gonna grill up a little thin steak and make a steak sandwich. It is on the menu for tonight. We'll get that going before it gets dark here. All right, we're doing up these little steak sandwiches. I'm probably going to have 2 of these. These are pretty small little rolls here. And that thinly sliced steak, a little shredded cheese there. Go in with some of these mushrooms, onions, and peppers. That's it. All right, we're going in. Well, I think it's just about time to be moving on from here. I'm probably going to just go move spots, maybe move to the other side of the bay in another parking lot till it gets a little darker, and then I'll be moving on to my overnight spot. Hopefully this all goes well. I haven't done a city overnight in quite a while. We'll see. All right, I'm going to pull into this parking lot here. You can park in this lot till 2 a.m. It's now 8:30 p.m. So I think I'm going to set the alarm on my phone and get a little shut-eye. I'm probably not going to get the best night's sleep. I haven't overnighted in the city for a while. And then we'll go find a spot where we can legally park overnight. Well, it is a little after 10:30 p.m. I'm going to go ahead and move on from this parking lot. I did doze off for a little bit, so I'm pretty tired. Did a lot of this when I was living in the city in my van, having to kind of fall asleep for a little bit, then get up and move to another spot. So that's what I'm going to do, and then we'll call it a night there. Hopefully get some rest, and then see what tomorrow morning brings. Okay, I'm going to try parking right here. This is marked 4-hour parking from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., which means after hours, you can park overnight. Just be sure to pull out of here early in the morning. Shut her down. All right, I'm going to call it a night here. This is a pretty quiet street after hours, so I'll give you a quick shot out the front and the side here. Turn this light off. This is just a closed business here, off to the right. So I'm going to be sure to pull out of here before these businesses open, bright and early. And I'll just go back and find a public parking lot when I move on from here in the morning, make some coffee, get my day going, and we'll bring you guys along. See you in the morning.